All right, we're back right here on your premier morning news magazine. I tell you what, folks, what an incredible journey. What an incredible journey. I have the pleasure of bringing to you right now, live from Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, my good friend. He is Scott Karren, the partner and chief operating officer for Ward Holdings International. Scott brings more than 25 years of global executive management experience. He co-founded and financed, built three successful organizations, MSI Consulting Group, the Launcher Group, and China Wave Broadcom Corp. He is a recognized expert on international distribution, product launch, and new business development. Scott holds a bachelor's degree from Brigham Young University and an MBA from the University of Chicago. He joins me live now from Africa. Scott, welcome to Eyes Open. And it's morning here, but I know it's about a 8 to 9 hour difference, so I know it's probably closer to the late evening time. And welcome to the show. And describe to me right now what you're doing.
Well, I'm in my apartment here in Dar es Salaam, and I'm looking out the window at the Indian Ocean, and the sun's about an hour away from setting, and you've got this beautiful blue glistening water, and just enjoying my time in Africa.
I tell you what, that is amazing. I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous right now. We're being inundated and flooded down here with all kinds of bad weather and rain. For the people in America, I didn't realize how gorgeous the motherland was. I mean, the entire continent of Africa, not only being just most precious when it comes to its natural resources, but just the beauty of the country. Prior to you visiting Africa, what was your perception of the motherland?
The perceptions, things I saw on television, and it doesn't really capture how it feels when you're here. You've heard names like Serengeti and Kilimanjaro, and you know that those are going to be great places to go. But when you get here and you see the city of Dar es Salaam and you feel the welcome from the people, and you go to an island off of Zanzibar, and you just see the raw natural beauty. Television won't cut it. It's just not the same as being here.
Now, I know you are a man that is well-traveled. You've been all over the world. How does Africa compare to some of the most beautiful places you've seen, maybe in the Caribbean and other places in the world?
I think many of the places here in Tanzania are there's more of the raw natural beauty. And I've been to all the big cities in the world. I've been up in the mountains in many places in the world. And I'm enjoying my time here because both the people and the place, it's a gorgeous place. And the people here are amazingly welcoming. They're welcoming of Americans, and they're polite. It's just Tanzania is a fantastic place.
So you would recommend Tanzania as a vacation spot for anyone who's listening right now?
Yeah, get a flight today. Come over here. It's nice.
How's the scuba diving?
Scuba's fantastic. I was up in Pemba Island just before I got to Dar es Salaam on the 1st of May, and I saw three things I'd never seen before. I've been diving a lot around the world, and so when I see something new, that's a special experience for me.
Well, my wife and I, we're looking forward to when we come together, you taking us down to the deep blue sea, and possibly, if you have the time, to help get us certified. Because we've lived in quite a few countries, never got certified because we're up here in Louisiana. There's not very many people who do it where we live, but we're looking forward to that. Let me ask you, you talked about the people. Describe the people and how WHI, Ward Holdings International, and this TanzaNutz project is being embraced by the people of Africa.
When we present what we're doing to people here, we've met some of the most amazing people in Dar es Salaam. Everybody wants to help. They see that this is important. They're glad that somebody's doing it, that they know that it's a hard project. So from multiple industries, from the government, from NGOs, the people are eager for something that will provide, a lasting impact and a positive change.
How did you get involved with Ward Holdings International and the TanzaNutz project?
Well, I met Lloyd through a mutual friend. My friend and I were both on the board of directors of another company in Florida years ago. And he was a friend of Lloyd's, and he introduced me to Lloyd. And I introduced Lloyd to some of my clients in China. And we were both in China talking to a client, and the client said, maybe we should talk about Africa. He says to Lloyd, do you know anybody in Africa? And Lloyd says, well, let me get my phone out. And we start calling a few people. And we call some of his friends right down there in Louisiana.
Martin Johnson?
And the next thing you know, we're on the phone with people in Africa. And when we got here, the government said, well, we know you came over for a different reason, but we'd like you to think about cashews. And, so one project led to another. So you meet people because of other good friends, and you get together, and then when you get somewhere, people open doors for you and say, here's something we need you to do.
That is amazing. I mean, it lets us truly know how really small this planet really is, that you guys can get on the phone and within a matter of 15 minutes talk to China, again, talk to people in America, visit, make a call to Louisiana, and then connect it to Africa. That's an amazing story. When you look at the mission of Ward Holdings International, by comparison to previous maybe industrialized or so-called industrialized countries that have come there, we know the history of Africa, since slavery. We know that it has been robbed, raped, and pillaged of most of its natural resources up until more recently, like when many of those governments took back control from colonialism, from, whether it's the British or what have you. But when you take a look at the mission and the approach, you as the Chief Operating Officer of WHI, how is Ward Holding International's approach to business in Africa compared to people who have been there before and really hasn't made a dramatic change in the overall impact of the lives of the people in portions of Africa, particularly Tanzania?
I think our approach is different because we're taking a Tanzania-centric approach. Many companies come here from outside, and they want to see how much they can take away. We have a saying at Ward Holdings where we say, when Tanzania wins, we all win. And so there's plenty of business opportunity. And by providing infrastructure and a growth in the opportunity here, it'll create a sustainable environment. So many countries, China comes in and they say, we don't want to buy anything with value add. We want to buy the raw commodity. Mm-hmm. Well, if you sell the raw commodity, you'll stay poor forever. So you have to do the value add in country, and bring the jobs that go with it in country. And people know it, but making the transition so hard because there are vested constituencies calling for people to remain in the existing process. Mm-hmm. So we have to change to local value add.
Basically, we have to industrialize not only, of course, TanzaNutz, but in the future, not only the cashew business, but in the future, is WHI looking forward to helping to assist not only with the cashew industry, but are there other unique opportunities in the agricultural market that they will be looking at?
I think the same models that we're demonstrating will be applicable to the entire agricultural industry, and even beyond agriculture. You can go into minerals and mining.
Wow.
But the concept is local value add. Don't sell the raw commodity. So for cashews, I never understood how complicated a cashew was. I used to just eat them by the handful. Mm-hmm. But a cashew has to be professionally cut. It's got a corrosive liquid inside the shell before you get to the nut, that you don't want to get on your fingers. So you never see cashews in America that you can crack yourself. Mm-hmm. It has to be here. But even after that, it's a wholesale product. You have to get it to consumer package. And we're looking at consumer packaging all with indigenous materials so that you have this gorgeous presentation of the high quality cashew that they have here with everything done, and then shipped directly from here to the global markets in Europe and America and China.
Changing from the wholesale selling pennies for the kilo at a bulk rate to these countries that are, like whether it's India or Vietnam or whoever, I'm just throwing names out there. How will making that change to a retail product with WHI's help, particularly with this TanzaNutz brand, benefit the government and the people who are actually doing most of the work and getting least of the resources from it?
Right now, the entire GDP from cashews in Tanzania is about 200 million, maybe a little less, because it's selling a raw commodity.
Mm-hmm.
But the value will be 20, 30, 40 times bigger as they do the value add locally. We expect to create somewhere between 500,000 and 1 million jobs here in a 10-year period.
Wow. That is amazing.
So that's a huge impact. And furthermore, people said, hey, why don't you just buy all the RCN? That's what they call cashew before they process it, a raw cashew nut in the shell. Why don't you buy all of that and just truck it all up to Dar es Salaam, and then you could have a big modern factory in Dar es Salaam, and then ship it to the world from there. And I said to him, I said, that's crazy. I go, that won't help anybody out in the villages where they really need the help. Mm-hmm. It'll make a few rich people more rich in Dar es Salaam. I said, and it's a lot of work. I go, if that's all you want to do, just keep selling it to Vietnam, because that's the impact it'll have on the country. You have to go to the towns and the villages where the people are living in poverty, and you have to make the change there. You have to create opportunity, and you have to create commerce in the village. So that's what we're trying to do. Is we want to be on the farm, we want to be in the village, and then people don't have to. They have a brain drain problem if the young people leave the village and try to come to the big city. Mm-hmm. But if you have good jobs in the village, you can stay there. If you have a job in the village, you can pay for your child's education. You can hook up to the electrical grid. You can have running water. So all these things need to happen in the village.
That's great. So you guys have been on the ground, and I know, Scott, you've been there periodically, and you're there now. Based upon what you're hearing, and Ward and the team being there for more than a year now, nearly a year, and with the hope of the future, what are the people in Tanzania saying? Are you guys giving them hope for a brighter future, and how are they embracing that?
People are hopeful, people are excited, and the people are impatient. I remember when we were here in September, we went out to see some farmers, and Lloyd starts preaching the gospel of change and prosperity. And we gave him a metaphor, and we said it's like planting a tree. You plant the tree, and it's going to take 5 years, 7 years for it to mature, but you'll have the benefits. But they didn't want that. They told him, we have 10,000 tons of cashews. Can you buy them today? So there's a process that has to happen, and it does take time for it to mature. So while there's a little bit of impatience, it's because they see what the opportunity is, and they want it to happen as fast as possible.
Anything you want to add, brother, before I let you go?
I think, come on over here. It's a great time to come to Tanzania. It's a great time to invest in Tanzania. And when you see our nuts from Tanzania in America, buy them, because they're delicious, they're awesome, and you'll be helping people here.
I couldn't have said it even better. I was going to close with that, but you did it for me. That, of course, is Scott Karren. He is the Chief Operating Officer for Reward Holdings International, and, of course, a good friend of mine. Over the course, Martin introduced me to him, and part of the WHI team. And God bless y'all, and you take care, and tell Godfrey and all the folk down there in Tanzania right now, the WHI team, that I'm looking forward to meeting them in person and certainly talking to them via the radio airwaves. God bless you, Scott. You take care.
Thank you, Tony.
All right. Again, folks, Scott Karren with the WHI, and, of course, as he mentioned, when this TanzaNutz go on the market, they're looking at right before the holiday season, possibly as early as December. We'll be letting you know about it. And when you buy some of the hugest, buttery flavored, delicious TanzaNutz, Q and I have had them. We've had them here. We're not anybody, but we know people in important places. In fact, I still have a few at home that I'm saving. But when they go on for sale in retail, we'll let you know where you can pick them up and have confidence and faith in knowing that when you're buying that particular brand, the TanzaNutz brand, you're not only getting the best cashew in the world, but you're also helping the people in Africa who for so many years have been taken advantage of. More eyes open when we come back, folks. Don't go away.